He said he didn't have anywhere else to go for Thanksgiving, so we let him join us. We let a stranger join us for Thanksgiving dinner. He wouldn't leave. We usually keep Thanksgiving small, but last year, my dad invited a coworker of his to join us. The guy's name was David. My dad said he didn't have any local family and would be alone for the holiday. I remember my mom hesitating, but she went along with it anyway. And besides, we always had more than enough food. David showed up right on time, early even. He brought a bottle of wine and a side dish. I forgot what it was, something homemade. He was polite, soft-spoken, maybe a little awkward, but not in a threatening way, just quiet. We ate, we talked, we watched the game. David sat between my dad and my uncle and nodded along with most of the conversation, occasionally chiming in with a story about working late or moving from city to city. He said he didn't really keep in touch with family anymore. Nothing too weird. But after everyone left, my aunt, my cousins, some neighbors, David stayed. He didn't say much, just helped my mom clear plates, then sat on the couch and turned the volume down on the TV. Not mute, just low enough that you could hear the silence around it. Around 9:30, my dad gently said, "Well, it's been a long day." A polite hint. David just nodded and said, "It has," but didn't move. He didn't even glance at the door. At that point, it got kind of awkward. My mom offered to pack some leftovers for him. He accepted, thanked her, but still didn't get up. She handed him the Tupperware. He set it on the coffee table in front of him. Finally, around 10, my dad stood up and said, "Hey David, we're gonna wind down for the night." David just looked up at him and said, "I think I'll stay a bit longer." Not asked, not suggested, just flat out said it. My dad smiled, kind of stiff, and said, "It's getting late. We have an early morning." David stared at him, like really stared, then finally stood and grabbed his coat. As he walked out the door, he said, "See you next year." We locked the door behind him, all the doors. The next morning, my mom noticed the garage side door latch had been bent slightly, like someone had tried to force it open with a tool. It hadn't been like that before. We checked the ring footage from the night before. There he was, David, standing in our driveway at 2:17 a.m., just looking at the house. Not moving, not checking his phone, just standing there with his hands in his coat pockets. He didn't knock, didn't try anything, just stood there, then left. No car headlights, no footsteps on gravel, just darkness swallowing him as he walked off screen. My dad didn't bring him up again. He doesn't work at that company anymore. Never said why. We haven't had Thanksgiving guests since, only family. Sometimes I wonder if David was just lonely or something else was going on. Because the part that keeps bothering me, the leftovers we gave him, we found the Tupperware in our mailbox 3 days later, sealed, untouched, and ice cold. This is Mr. H. You're listening to Masked Horror.